Well, hey, it's me again, your very favorite natural internet bodybuilder, coming back to you again with 30 plus years of physique constructing experience that's going to help you build a physique that is complete, impressive, and aesthetic. So if you desire to have a physique that commands respect from the guys,
damn, blow your jack. What the
and absolutely makes the girls lose their then you are absolutely in the right place. And you're going to want to watch today's video because today's video is an important topic, an important muscle group or body part that all guys want to improve or have a good set of, and that's your pecs, your chest. So I assume you maybe clicked on this video because you want to improve it. Maybe you got not much mass there. Maybe you got some ribs sticking out. Maybe you don't have very good shape. Maybe you just don't like the way your chest looks. Well, we're going to fix that today with some very helpful information that's going to help you build a chest that makes girls look at you like this. So let's get started with this action-packed, informative, entertaining video presentation that could quite possibly change your life. Let's go. All right, so we have to go over these 5 essential truths that all contribute toward building a good, impressive chest. The question that has to be answered, though, is what makes a good, impressive chest? And the 4 things I can come up with are size, symmetry, shape, and proportion. We'll be going after all these things with the 5 keys that we're looking at here today. In the meantime, before we get to it, we'll just take a look at some brief photos of the chest that I've been able to develop naturally over the course of 30 years of working out. There was a cold shot, the first one. There's what it looks like with a full pump. You can decide for yourself if you think that my chest is worthy enough to take advice from me and going over all these things that we're going to look at to build your own impressive aesthetic chest. And let's go ahead and start getting into it right now. All right, our first truth to go over is that barbell benching is only the beginning of building a complete chest. It is a good beginning for when you're starting out. You can see when I was first starting out as a youngster many years ago, I was doing barbell benching and incline barbell benching. It is good for building your base of mass with your chest. And I've moved away from it here in the last few years, though, to concentrate more on dumbbell work and machine work. I'll talk about the reasons for that coming up. But you can see even as a few years ago, I was still doing it pretty religiously, even on the Smith machine. And I was also barbell benching when I was rehabbing from my torn quad, which I have a video about. So I was being a trooper and fighting through that. It is a good exercise. I don't want to dissuade anyone from doing it, but we're going to talk now about why I think dumbbells are a little better nowadays. And that has to do with range of motion and direction of motion. And you can see here with dumbbells, they do give you a little bit more of a stretch at the bottom. You can go lower, the bar's not hitting your chest. And also when you come up, you can kind of squeeze inwardly. See that little arc motion there that I'm doing? That's something that you can't really do with the barbell unless you're using one of those specialized barbells that have the sliding grip things on it. We'll take a look at the legendary Mike O'Hearn right here. Used it. See those grip slider things? He knows a thing or two about building a physique, but that's for sure. But it has to do with the muscle fibers and the direction that they run in your chest. You're expanding and contracting those muscle fibers. On the negative, you want to come down with as big a stretch as safely possible, and then you want to squeeze them together. That's why we do this little cross-in motion here, squeezing motion of the pecs. And studies are also showing, it's pretty much undoubted now, that the most hypertrophy happens in the stretch position at the very bottom of the reps. And you can also see with things like cable crossovers, you get that nice stretch. Not only bringing them out to the sides, but bringing your elbows back behind you, really stretching out those pec fibers and getting a good hypertrophic workout in there. You can see also dumbbell flies. Look how low I like to bring these. Elbows coming way down below the bench, really targeting, isolating the pectoral muscles. You can see from this angle even better, even though the camera's a little crooked there. That's just one of the downfalls of being a small-time YouTuber with no videographer. But you can see that I like to come way down and squeeze up inwardly, and you can see also chest machines are made for that type of movement as well. A nice deep wide stretch on the eccentric part of the movement. Then on the concentric part, you can see the hands come closer together, the pecs squeeze together, and that's very good for what you see here, those striations there at the top of the chest, like on that incline machine we used there. And also for the crevice down the middle, the striations there that you see in the middle. Because there are studies showing that you can target specific parts of the muscles, like the inner chest. Dr. Gaines here has a good video busting the inner chest myth, and something worth taking a look at for what we're dealing with here. All right, now number 3, angles. And I'm talking about the angles of the bench that you're using. Here, instead of using adjustable benches, I like to stack some mats under there. You can see I got a slight decline on this set. You could put more mats for different angles or less mats or whatever. I also like to do these, obviously, for incline bench presses. And this is really good for hitting all those different angles of the muscle fibers like we were talking about earlier, upper pecs, mid pecs, lower pecs. And you can see also, like on the incline chest machine here is a good angle. You just want to vary your angles. You can see how the muscle fibers kind of change as they go from the top of the pec toward the bottom of the pec. Vary your angles, guys, to build a complete chest. Now, number 4, mind-muscle connection. And this is something that doesn't happen right away, developing a strong mind-muscle connection. I think it's an eternally increasing process myself. I still feel like I'm getting a better mind-muscle connection as the years go by. You want to emphasize your chest on your chest workouts. You can see I don't straighten my arms all the way because I don't want to put too much emphasis on my shoulders or triceps. It can be tricky to really put the most emphasis on your chest when you're doing chest presses. You can see here from this angle, even a little bit shorter range of motion at the top. That just keeps more tension on the pecs. Flies are also like that. A lot of people, you'll see them straighten their arms all the way up and bring the dumbbells all the way together, but that takes tension off the pecs. You can see the way I'm doing them here, obviously getting a deep stretch here at the bottom. And when I bring them up, as you saw there a moment ago, I don't squeeze them in all the way. I like to keep a little bend in my arms. And when I'm engaging the bottom of the motion to start the rep, I like to envision cracking a walnut there between my pecs. I actually start the motion with my inner pecs. I got a strong enough mind-muscle connection to really feel that. That's something you want to work on. Last up is proportion. You want to make sure your chest is developed proportionately to the rest of your muscle groups. You don't want to have an overdeveloped or underdeveloped chest. I mean, unless you want to do something freaky, I guess you could overdevelop your chest. But you just want to build a complete aesthetic physique that is proportioned and balanced and symmetrical and all that kind of stuff. You want to have a good physique with nothing standing out really too much. Maybe you do. I mean, some people might want to have things that are unproportioned, freakishly big. But if you want a good balanced physique, you want to keep your chest proportioned to everything else. At any rate, I think we can all agree that having a good aesthetic developed chest is desirable. And when you do this, when you're able to accomplish this, you can do some fun things with your pecs, like possibly entertaining some girls.
Can you do the thing where you...
And look at the joy on that face right there. Now imagine if I wasn't able to do that, how disappointed she'd be. Imagine if you don't have the right chest development or mind-muscle connection to do the thing as she requested there. Or say you're out maybe at the pool or the beach and you see some little cutie eyeing you up. You can have the confidence to walk over to her like this and say, "Hey, Toots, I saw you looking at me. Here's my pecs. What do you think? I'm moving around a little bit for you." How would she react to that? Well, you could see how she'd react to that. She'd look at you like this. And don't you want this? Isn't this what every guy wants? It's for girls to look at them like this? Of course it is. And that's why you want to carefully follow all the things that I've taught you here in this video and that I teach in all my videos. So you definitely want to be subscribed. If you're not, I think you're doing yourself a huge disservice, and that's a damn shame. These girls are waiting.